Welcome back to the Be the Cake podcast, which hasn't been here for a while, but with me, your host, Liz Campbell. And I wasn't planning on recording this episode today, and it has to happen. So here I am. Okay, so I kind of feel like today is going to be a little bit of a story time, possibly a bit of a rant. Buckle up, buttercup. Here we go. So, the spiritual journey and the bullshit you encounter on the way. Let's just talk about this, because I have always been someone who has been very intuitively guided all the way through. And for some fucking weird reason, despite the fact I all the way through my life have been very good at understanding what's right for me, going for it, and kind of pushing the opinions of other people to one side and so on and so forth, I have allowed myself during the course of this journey with this to be silenced, projected onto all sorts of things during the course of this. And I guess if you're listening to this, then you're quite possibly someone who's going to identify with this, because you're going to recognize this for yourself. It's a really interesting thing when you start to step into your gifts, when you start to step into your power, and when you start to actually move forwards, and you do so with confidence, how much it will bring up out of the woodwork people who have a vested interest in attempting to steer you off course by projecting onto you and various shenanigans. And what I want to say, and I do feel like all of this ties in with basically the way that my work has developed, specifically not to do that with people. The amount of mentors, etc., that I see that project their stuff onto other people, that try to manipulate and direct people under the guise of being helpful, the amount of that I have experienced for myself. I guess the gift in the shit sandwich for me has been that it's made me ever more determined to create work that really truly allows people to kind of connect with and tap into their own stuff, which is how the reboot developed, how all of the different versions of the reboot developed up to reboot 11 where we are now. It's why I teach in a group format, and I'm very much about teaching the processes, but I do not tell people who they're here to be, what they're here to do, because that's not my fucking job. And the amount of people I see who seem to think that it's their job to tell other people that stuff, whilst not providing them with the tools to tap into that for themselves, is absolutely fucking ridiculous. And I'm here now to talk about it because, if you're stumbling across this now and you've just started on this journey, this is something you need to be aware of. It's something you absolutely need to be aware of. There will be people who pop up along your journey who are very nice and very helpful and very friendly, and on the surface of it seem absolutely lovely, who will feel the need to slide into your DMs and try and tell you about yourself as if you're not capable of knowing what it is that you're here for or what you want. These people, particularly the ones who have any kind of sense of purpose for themselves that's anywhere near, but I'm going to say adjacent to some of the things that you're here to do. Okay, so as an example, I am here as a DNA activator and architect. It's a big thing for me. When I first started this journey, the two things that I was pulled towards before anything else, before anyone got their hands on me and tried to steer me in any direction, were DNA activation and the Akashic records. And I felt that calling. And I got roadblocked by mentors I work with, by people who were in amongst my spiritual friends online, who felt it was appropriate to slide into my DMs and try and steer me in different directions because they had seen something for me. All of this kind of shit where people try and tell you about yourself. They try to tell you your purpose because they are not dealing with their shadow stuff around their own sense of competition, any of that kind of crap. They haven't dealt with any of that shit. They're all love and light, and I'm being really helpful, and I'm going to tell you what you're here for, without, looking at the fact that that's not their fucking job. That's not their fucking job, okay? The reason why I'm feeling this need to outburst right now is because I've been working essentially with, during the course of all of this, so Akashic Reboot 11, it basically is a DNA activation and architecture tool. It does all the things in the things, but you get to direct it because of the way that it's designed, okay? There's a whole course that goes with it. But essentially, it's all leading you into yourself. That is what my work does. Okay, so the other reboots that are attached but not the same, they are kind of what I call the sort of starter pack type things. We got the reboot for clarity on your next soul aligned step. We have the ultimate money reboot. And we also have the relationship reboot, which I haven't released yet. I'm currently working on it at the moment. I've put it together. I'm working with it for myself. There's been some stuff it's brought up. This is me processing effectively, and also really understanding this is stuff I need to share on my, about my journey that's going to be helpful to someone. So I'm here to lay it down. I have had the utmost along the way amount of interference from well-meaning people. I don't know quite who they were well-meaning towards sometimes. I think sometimes people didn't even know their own intentions with the way that they were trying to steer me. People popping up and trying to tell me what my path should be according to their opinion, their view, and, I've seen something. Not understanding the fact that, in actual fact, none of us are here to tell anyone else what they're here for. Everyone's job is to tap inwards. There was a book I read ages ago, and I can't remember what the fuck it's called now. And it was a channeled book, and this woman that channeled it went into a trance state, and it was recorded and then transcribed, and it was her husband was asking questions. And there was a whole thing in there about basically beware of the people who claim to offer spiritual guidance, who are directing you to take external guidance rather than leading you to actually listen to your own internal guidance and actually providing tools that help you to do that more accurately. And I really do feel that needs to be underlined and in gigantic capital letters with a highlighter and glitter and sparkles and fireworks going off around it. Because in actual fact, on this journey, when you start this journey, you will meet, most likely, you might not, you might get lucky on this. Maybe the stars won't align for you in this way, I don't know. But there's a strong possibility you will meet along the way people who call themselves coaches, who aren't so much interested in coaching as projecting their desires for you onto you. You will meet mentors who do the same. You will meet teachers who do the same. You will meet lots of people who are very caught up in what I call manipulation dynamics in terms of the way that they do things, who stick the word spiritual in their title. And essentially the gifts you will get out of these sort of relationships down the line, if you get involved in these things and pay these people money, is the gift of discernment, standing in your inner authority as a result of having people trying to knock you out of it every 5 minutes. So there are gifts. There's always a gift in every shit sandwich. But you know what? If I can share this so that other people don't make the same I'm going to say the same fucking mistakes, because I have worked with mentors along the way, and coaches, people who are accredited. Like, actually, one of the best coaches I ever worked with, as far as I'm aware, doesn't have any qualifications, and was absolutely amazing. And some of the people I work with qualifications and like all the official fucking letters and stuff have been absolutely worse than useless. You know, bottom line, I got to benefit from these experiences because there were lessons. I learned the lesson of listening to myself. I learned the lesson of trusting myself. I learned the lesson of being able to go, no, thank you, that's your shit. I learned to step out of people pleasing by going through a thing where I was signing up for stuff because there was a people pleasing element that was going on with me that I wasn't dealing with at the time. But yeah, I just, how to even begin to sort of quantify what I'm trying to say here in sort of something fairly short, sweet, succinct, but like really pointed. Like, I feel as though the reason why I am making this video, doing this podcast today, I don't know how long it's going to be, is precisely so that those of you who stumble upon this, whether you listen to the Be the Cake podcast regularly and you've heard my stuff before, seen my stuff before, whether you're brand new to this and it's just been put in your eye line, it's to say to you that it is never someone else's job to tell you what you're here for. And it's one of the biggest things that I see people really taking the fucking piss with in the spiritual community, is this idea of telling people their purpose. A decent coach, therapist, mentor who claims to work with the whole subject of purpose should be providing you with tools to get your own answers. If they are telling you what those answers are, they are not acting in integrity with the highest truth, because they are attempting to get you to play a game to their benefit. That's the only way I can say it. Like, I can't say it any clearer than that. They are manipulating you when they tell you what your purpose is, rather than giving you tools for you to work with so you can figure that shit out for yourself and get very clear understanding that comes from within, due to them assisting you with really like solidifying your divine connection with yourself. Okay, when they are not providing the tools, when they're telling you what it is, they are not in integrity. Although, you know, you can pan back and look at the bigger picture and go, they're in integrity with teaching you a lesson of discernment. Like, you could, like, if you go into the Akashic Records and ask what the contract's about, it could well be that the contract is that they teach you inner authority by trying to usurp that, so to get you to stand in your power. So there is always, it's an interesting one with this polarity stuff, because you do actually get to understand that they're not in integrity on a human level, but on a higher level, they're trying to teach you something. So yeah, there is that. So I will concede that point. But if you want to save yourself a whole load of time and bother, understand when someone's trying to do that with you and cut them out. Cut them out, push them to one side, tell them no thank you, that's not for me. Whatever it is you need to do in order to get them the fuck off your back, so that you can focus on working with the people and materials that do guide you deeper into that inner connection. Because that's the thing that counts. That is the thing that counts. And anyone who says otherwise is full of shit. Yeah, like, I can't say any clearer than that. Anyone who tells you that you should be paying more attention to what someone else thinks about what you should be doing and so on and so forth than you are to your inner connection and that inner wisdom and knowledge that wants to come out. Anyone that's not providing you tools to help you like solidify your connection with that and is instead directing you in ways of how to be like them is full of shit. End of story. Like, underlined. That's it. And, you know, I can say this very clearly because I have been through all the dramas with this. I know what it's about because I've experienced all of this nonsense from other people along my own journey. And, you know, I've come to the point where I've come out the other side of this stuff and I can laugh at it. But at times it's felt really fucking rough because I did listen to some of these people along the way and like, what the fuck? Like, if I can share this now and stop someone else from making the same mistakes that I have done in the past so that you have an easier time on your spiritual awakening journey or however you want to call it, then what can I say? You know, like if I can share this and it helps someone, then that's a good thing. So like, I really hope that me sharing this serves you and gives you pause for thoughts. Maybe you've been led to this because you were asking for answers on something or wanting some clarity and you've been faced with a similar situation recently and you've been a bit confused. Maybe you grew up like I did with a family who spent their whole time basically trying to control your actions, etc., gaslighting you, so on and so forth. And so you found it sometimes difficult to like really get clarity on what's what for you because of the fact you grew up in an atmosphere that felt unsupportive due to being surrounded by adults that were operating out of extreme dysfunction. You know, that I know what that feels like. I've been there. Bought the fucking t-shirt, ate the popcorn, etc. That was me. That was me. And I just hope that I can be the example through sharing this that, you know, basically the example of what not to do. No, that sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? But I hope that I can clarify for you that your inner voice is the most important one. Okay. And I know, yes, we have the inner critic as well as the little inner voice. I mean, this is what my work's designed for. If you are struggling with this stuff, the Reboot for Clarity on your next soul aligned step is $23. There will be links around this somewhere that will lead you to it if that is something that you are needing. If you lack clarity, if you have considered working with people who give you like an ABC, how to be like me, whatever step program, and you've been wondering whether it's the right thing for you, I'll guide you, you know, get the Reboot for Clarity on your next soul aligned step. Do that. It comes with journal prompts and stuff. Everything in it is designed to bring out what is true for you. Okay, not other people's stuff, not my stuff, not anyone else's stuff. What's true for you. So sending you so much love. I'm not going to say I apologize for the rant. This needed to come out. Like, I needed to express this, and you listening to, watching this, needed to hear it, obviously. So thank you for listening. If you're wanting to engage with that reboot, there will be a link somewhere around this, like on YouTube below. If you're somewhere else, it will be in the details of this episode. I'm sending you so much love and all all the blessings for a bright and wonderful future in authentic alignment with who you truly are, not someone else's idea of who you should be, okay? Mwah.